what cheer?
Good, speak to the mariners, full to it yearly, or we run ourselves aground. The stir!
Hey, my hearts! Cheely, my hearts! Yeah! Taking the topsail!
Topsail yards fast!
Tend to the master's whistle!
Aye!
Blow till thou burst thy wind, if room enough. I pray thou keep below.
Where's the master, boatswain?
Do you not hear him? Our labour, keep your cabins. You do assist the storm.
Hey, good, be patient.
When the sea is, hence what cares these roarers for the name of king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not.
Good, yet remember whom thou hast aboard.
None that I'm more of than myself. You're a counsellor. If you can command these elements to silence and work the peace of the present, we will not hand a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot, give thanks you have lived so long and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour, if it's so. Cheerly, good hearts! Out of our way, I say!
I have great comfort in this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fate to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own doth little advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable.
Down with the topmast! Yeah! Lower! Free to try with main course! Plague on this howling! They're louder than the weather or our office. Yet again, what do you here? Shall we give over and drown? Have you a mind to sing?
A pox to your throat, you bawling, blasphemous, incharitable dog!
Work you there!
Hang! Hang! You horse and insolent noisemaker! We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art! I'll warrant him from drowning, though the ship be no stronger than a nutshell and as leaky as an unstaunched wench.
Clear a hold! A hold! Set a two courses off to sea again!
To sea! To sea!
Lay hold!
To prayers!
What must our mouths be called?
The king and the prince at prayers. Let's assist them for our cases as theirs.
I am out of patience!
We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. This wide-chopped rascal! Would thou might try drowning the washing of 10 times! He'll be hanged yet, though every drop of water swear against it and gape as wide to glut him.
Mercy on us! Split!
Farewell, my wife and children.
Farewell, my brother!
We split!
Let's all sink with the king!
Let's take leave of him!
Now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground. Long heath, brown furze, anything. The wills above be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them, the sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea mounting to the welkin's cheek dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer, a brave vessel who had no doubt some noble creatures in her, dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed, and the fraughting souls within her.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one. thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater father.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee, father. Lend thy hand, and pluck my magic garment from me. So, lie there, my art. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort. The direful spectacle of the rack, which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have, with such provision in mine art, so safely ordered that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as an hair, betid to any creature in the vessel, which thou heardst cry, which thou saw'st sink. Sit down, for thou must now know, father.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay not yet.
The hour's now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any other house or person of anything the image tell me that hath kept with thy remembrance.
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once attended me?
Thou hadst, and more, Miranda. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark, backward and abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here, thou mayest.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since. Thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou wast my daughter. And thy father was Duke of Milan, and his only heir and princess no worse issue.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was't we did?
Both, my girl, by foul play as thou sayest, were we heaved thence, but blessedly hope hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds. To think of the teen that I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please, you further.
My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio. I pray thee, mark me that a brother should be so perfidious, he whom next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state, as at that time through all the signories it was the first, and Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity and for the liberal arts without a parallel, those being all my study. The government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Having once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance and who to trash for overtopping, new created the creatures that were mine, I say, or changed them, or else new formed them, having both the key of officer and office, set all hearts i' the state to what tune pleased his ear, that now he was the ivy which had hid my princely trunk and sucked my verdure out on't. Thou attendst not?
Oh, Good sir, I do.
I pray thee mark me. I, thus, neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind with that which, but by being so retired, or prized all popular rate, in my false brother await an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood in its contrary, as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit, a confidence sans bound. He, being thus lauded, not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact, like one who, having into truth by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory, to credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke, out of the substitution and executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative. Hence his ambition growing, dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
To have no screen between this part he played and him he played it for, he needs will be absolute, Milan. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties, he thinks me now incapable. Confederates, so dry he was for sway, with the King of Naples, to give him annual tribute, do him homage, subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed, alas, poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark his condition and the event, and then tell me if this might be a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now the condition. This King of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu of the promises of homage, and I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all the honours on my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied one midnight, fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan. And in the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose hurried thence, me and thy crying self.
Alack for pity. I not remembering how I cried out then will cry it o'er again. It is a hint that rings mine eyes to it.
Here a little further, and then I'll bring thee to the present business which now's upon us, without the which this story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well demanded, wench. My tale provokes that question. Dear, they durst not? So dear the love my people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on the business, but with colours fairer painted their foul ends in few. They hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a butt, not rigged, nor tackle, sail, nor mast, the very rats instinctively have quitted. There they hoist us, to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds whose pity sighing back again did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast, that did preserve me. Thou didst smile, infuse it with a fortitude from heaven, while I have decked the sea with drops full salt, under my burden groaned, which raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had, and some fresh water, that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity, who being then appointed master of this design, did give us with rich garments, linens, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steadied much. So of his gentleness, knowing I love my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that man.
Now I arise. Sit still and hear the last of our sea's sorrow. Here in this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princes can, that have more time for vainer hours, and tutors not so careful.
Heavens thank you for it. And now I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm.
No, thus far forth. By accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now, my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore. And by my prescience, I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if now I court not, but omit, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here, cease more questions, thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. Oh. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant, come. I am ready now. Approach my Ariel. Come!
All hail! Great master, grave sir, hail! I come to answer thy best pleasure. Be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding, task Ariel, and all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, to the deck, in every cabin. I flamed amazement. Sometime I divide and burn in many places, on the topmast, the yards and bowsprit where I flame distinctly, then meet and join Jove's lightning, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning or not, the fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seem to besiege, and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infect his reason?
Not a soul but felt a fever of the mad, and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all afire with me. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leapt, cried, hell is empty, and all the devils are here.
Why, that's my spirit. But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs, in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbour is the king's ship, in the deep nook, where once thou calledst me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermudas. There she's hid. The mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labour, I have left asleep. And for the rest of the fleet, which I dispersed, they all have met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked, and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now? Moody. What is't thou canst demand?
My liberty!
before the time be out, no more.
I prithee, remember, I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made no mistakings, served without or grudge or grumblings. Thou did promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost! And thinks it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with frost?
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing! Hast thou forgot that foul witch, Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Algiers?
Oh? Was she so? I must, once in a month, recount what thou hast been, which thou forgetst. This damned witch, Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing, from Algiers, thou knowst, was banished. For one thing that she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child and left here by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportst thyself, was then her servant, and for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee, by help of her more potent ministers and in a most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain 12 years, within which space she died and left thee there. Where thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island, save for the son that she did litter here, a freckled whelp, hag-born, not honoured with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
Oh, thing, I say so! He, that Caliban, that now I keep in service. Thou best knowst what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breasts of ever-angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
Thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurst, I will rend an oak, and peg thee in its knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spriting gently.
Do so. And after 2 days, I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go, make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Hark in thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Go hence with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll visit Caliban, my slave, that never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho! Slave, Caliban, thou earth, thou speak.
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise, when thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth.
As wicked you as e'er my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fen, drop on you both. A southwest blow on ye, and blister ye all o'er.
For this, be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps. Side stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchins shall forth at vast of night, that they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than bees that made 'em.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine, by Sycorax, my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and made much of me. You wouldst give me water with berries in't, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night, and then I loved thee, and I showed thee all the qualities of the isle, the fresh springs, the brine pits, the barren place, and fertile. Cursed be I that did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you. For I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here you stay me in this hard rock, whilst you do keep from me the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness, I have used thee, filth as thou art, with humane care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Oh! Oh! Wouldst had been done. Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
Abhorrent slave! Which any print of goodness will not take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other, when thou didst not, savage, know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes with words that made them known. But thy vile race, though thou didst learn, had that in it which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast thou deservedly confined into this rock, who hadst deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on't is I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language!
Hagseed, hence! Fetch us in fuel and be quick, thou art best to answer other business. Shrugg'st thou malice, if thou neglect'st, or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll wrap thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar. Till beasts do tremble at thy din.
No, pray! I must obey. His art is of such power. He would control my damn's god Setibos and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence!
Get.
Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands, curtsied when you have and kissed. The wild waves whist, foot eats beatly here
should this music be? In the air? Or the earth? It sounds no more. And sure it waits upon some god of the island, sitting on a bank, weeping again the king, my father's wrack. This music crept by me upon the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. Thence I have followed it, or it hath drawn me rather, but 'tis gone. Oh no, it begins again.
Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made, those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. See lips early ring his knell, ding dong, ding dong,
But now I hear them ding dong bell.
The ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
The fringed curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yon.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about! Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form. But 'tis a spirit.
No, wench. It eats and sleeps and hath such senses as we have such. This gallant which thou seest was in the rack, and but he's something stained with grief. That's beauty's canker. Thou mightst call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine. For nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Most sure the goddess on whom these airs attend. Vouchsafe my prayer may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is... Oh, you wonder if you be maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens! I am the best of them that speak this speech, were I but where 'tis spoken.
How? The best? What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing, as I am now, that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Naples, and with mine eyes, never since at ebb, beheld the king, my father, racked.
Alack for mercy.
Yes, faith, and all his lords.
At the first sight, they have changed eyes. Delicate Ariel, I'll set thee free for this. A word, good sir. I fear you've done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw. The first that e'er I sighed for. Pity move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
Soft, sir, one word more. They are both in either's powers. But this swift business must I uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more. I charge thee that thou attend me! Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy to win it from me, the lord on't.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow me. Speak not you for him. He's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots, and husks, wherein the acorn cradled. Follow.
No! I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
Oh, dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What I say, my foot, my tutor. Put thy sword up, traitor, that makes to show but dares not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy ward, for I can here disarm thee with this stick and make thy weapon.
Beseech you, father.
Hence, hang not on my garments.
Sir, have pity. I'll be his surety.
Silence! One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. What? An advocate for an impostor? Hush! Thou think'st there are no more such shapes as him, having seen but he and Caliban. Foolish wench. To the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again, and have no vigour in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wrack of all my friends, nor this man's threats, to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid, all corners else of the earth let liberty make use of, space enough have I in such a prison.
It works. Come on, thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Follow, hark what thou else shalt do me.
Be of comfort. My father is of a better nature, sir, than he appears by speech. This is unwanted which now came from him.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, only exactly do all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak not for him.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause. Well, so have we all of joy, for our escape is much more than our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the masters of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, our preservation, few in millions can speak like us, then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Pity, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him more so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir,
one tell.
When every grief is entertained that's offered comes to the entertainer.
$1.
Dolour comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you purposed.
You've taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord.
Fie, what a spendthrift is Evie's tongue.
I pity, spare.
Well, I have done. But yet
he will be talking.
Which of he or Adrian for a good wager first begins to cry?
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done the wager.
A laughter.
A match.
Though this island seemed to be desert,
So you're paid.
uninhabitable and almost inaccessible,
Yet?
yet
He could not miss it.
it must needs be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance. The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Or else 'twere perfumed by a fen.
here is everything advantageous to life.
True. Save means to live.
That there's none, or little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks, how green.
The ground indeed is tawny.
With an eye of green in it.
he misses not much.
No, he doth but mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouched rarities are.
is that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and glosses, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
But one of his pockets could speak. Would it not say he lied?
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments now are as fresh as when we put them on first in Africa at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Clarabel to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen.
Not since the widow Dido's time.
A pox of that! How came that widow in? Widow Dido!
What if he said widower Aeneas too? Good Lord, how you take it.
Widow Dido, said you? You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not Tunis.
Tunis was Carthage.
Carthage.
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than the miraculous harp.
Aye, he hath raised the wall and houses too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it into the sea, bring forth more islands.
Aye.
Why in good time?
We were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
And the rarest that e'er came there.
Bait, I beseech you. Were widow Dido.
Oh, widow Dido, aye, widow Dido.
Is not my doublet, sir, as fresh as the first day I wore it? Well, I mean, in a sort.
That sort was well fished.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there. For coming thence, my son is lost, and in my rate she too, who is so far from Italy removed that I ne'er again shall see her. O thou, mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water whose enmity he flung aside and breasted the surge most swollen that met him. And his bold head above the contentious waves he kept and oared himself with his good arms in lusty stroke to the shore that o'er its wave-worn basis bowed as stooping to relieve him. I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, he is gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss. That would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather loose her to an African, where she at least is banished from your eye, which hath cause to wet the grief on it.
Prithee, peace.
You were kneeled to, and importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself weighed between loathness and obedience at which end of the beam should bow. We have lost your son. I fear forever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the lost.
My lord, Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most surgeon-like.
It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather.
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord,
He'd sow it with nettle seed.
Or docks or mallows.
and were the king on't, what would I do?
Save being drunk for want of wine.
In the commonwealth, I would by contraries execute all things. For no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate, letters should not be known, riches, poverty, and use of service, none. Contract, succession, born, bound of land, till, vineyard, none. No use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil, no occupation. All men idle, all, and women too, but innocent and pure. No sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on it.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce, without sweat or endeavour, treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, no need of any engine would I not have, but nature should bring forth of its own kind all poison, all abundance, to feed my innocent people.
No marrying among his subjects?
None, man, all idle, whores and knaves.
I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
Save his majesty!
Long live Gonzalo!
Do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more? No, thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe, your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they are always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who, in this kind of merry fooling, I'm nothing to you, and so you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given.
And it had not fallen flat long.
Oh, you are gentlemen of great mettle. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue in it 5 weeks without changing.
We would so, and then go a-back fouling.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, warrant you, I would not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep, for I'm very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
Well, are we all so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they're inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow. When it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest. Watch your safety.
Thank you. It's wondrous heavy.
Strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might? Worthy Sebastian, oh, what might? No more. And yet methinks I see it in thy face. What thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee. And my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What, art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speakst out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is a strange repose. To be asleep, with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep. Die, rather. Winkst whilst thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too, if heed me. Which to do trebles the oar.
While I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so. To ebb, hereditary sloth instructs me.
If you but knew how you the purpose cherish, whilst thus you mock it. How in stripping it you more invest it. Ebbing men indeed most often do so near the bottom run, by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a matter from thee, and a birth, indeed, which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, this who shall be of his little memory when he is earth, hath here almost persuaded, for he's a spirit of persuasion, only professes to persuade the king his son's alive. 'Tis as impossible that he is undrowned as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that way is another way so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, but doubt's discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who is the next heir of Naples?
Claribel.
She that is queen of Tunis! She that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. She that from Naples can have no note unless the sun were post. The man i' the moon's too slow, till newborn chins be rough and razorable. She, that from whom we all were sea-swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act whereof what's past is prologue, what to come in yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true, my brother's daughter's queen of Tunis, so is she heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Clarabelle measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian wake. Say this word death, which now hath seized them, why they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples, as well as he that sleeps. Lords that can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo, I myself could make a chuff of as deep chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep were this, for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True. And look how well my garments sit upon me. Much feeter than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows. Now they are my men.
But for your conscience!
Aye, sir. Where lies that? If 'twere a kibe, 'twould put me to my slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candid be they, melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon, if he were that which now is like. That's dead, whom I with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it can lay to bed forever, whilst you, doing thus to the perpetual wink, for I might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. For all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gotst Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou pay'st, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
Oh, but one word.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else his project dies, to keep them living.
While you heed you snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy is turned off trick. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake, awake.
Then let us both be sudden.
No! Good angels, preserve the king!
Right now, awake. Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we stood here securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing, like bulls. Or lions, rather. Did it not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear, to make an earthquake. Sure, it was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honour, sir, I heard a humming, and a strange one too, which did awake me. As my eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise. That's verily, 'tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground. Let's make further search for my poor son.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure in the island.
Lead, away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
all the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats on Prosper fall, and make him by inch meal a disease his spirits hear me. And yet I needs must curse. Yeah, but they'll no pinch. Fright me with urchin shows, huh? Huh? Pitch me in the mire, huh? Nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid him. But for every trifle are they set upon me. Sometime like apes. That mow and chatter at me, and after bite me, and then like hedgehogs, which lie tumbling in my barefoot way, and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometime am I all wound with adders, and with their cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Lo, now, lo! Here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly. I'll fall flat. Well, perchance he will not mind me.
Is neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. And there's another storm brewing, I hear it sing of the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one. Looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor if it should thunder, as did before. I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. Oh, well, it smells like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell. A kind of not of the newest, poor John. A strange fish. Were I in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there, but would give a piece of silver, there would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man, for when they will not give a doit to relieve a lame beggar, they'll lay out 10 to see a dead Indian. Legged like a man, fins like arms, warm, oh my troth, I do now let loose my opinion. Hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered by a thunderstroke. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to sneak under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud until the dregs of the storm be past.
Here shall I die ashore. I shall no more to see. Here shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner, and his mate. Love Mount Meg and Marion and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate, for she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, go hang. She loved not the savour of tar nor of pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her where she did itch. Then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune too, but here's my comfort.
What? No, do not torment me. Ah!
What's the matter? Oh, have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon us with savages and men of Ind? Huh? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs. For it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground, and it shall be said so again while Stefano breathes at nostrils.
The spirit torments me.
This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs who hath got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief if it be but for that. If I can recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor that ever trod on Neat's leather.
And do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in his fits now and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he have never drunk wine afore, it will go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He shall pay for him that have him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon, I know it by your trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways. Meow. Open your mouth. Meow. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Meow. This will shake your shaking, I can tell you. And that soundly. Well, you cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
I should know that voice. It should be, but he is drowned and these are devils who defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friends. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come, amen. I will pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, it is the devil and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
If thou beest Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, thy good friend, Trinculo.
Ah! If thou beest Trinculo,
come forth. I will pull thee by the lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Oh, thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed by a thunderstroke. But art thou not drowned, Stefano? I hope now thou art not drowned as the storm overblown. I hid me under the dead moon calf's gabardine for fear of the storm. But art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano, two Neapolitans escaped.
Prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, sir. Huh? and they be not sprites. That's a brave god. He bears celestial liquor. I'll kneel to him. Shh.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved overboard. By this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree, with mine own hands, since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon your bottle to be your true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapedest.
Swam ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stefano, hast any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seaside, where my wine is hid. How now, moon calf? How dost thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. No, my mistress showed me thee. Yeah, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Here, swear by that. Here, kiss the book. I will furnish it anon with new contents. Here, swear.
By this good late, this is a very shallow monster, aye? A fear to him? A very weak monster, the man of the moon, a most poor, credulous monster, well-drawn monster in good sooth.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I'll kiss your foot, I prithee. Be my god.
A most drunken, perfidious monster. When his god's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss your foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on, then.
Huh?
Down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster. A scurvy monster I could find in my heart to beat him. But the poor monster is in drink, an abominable monster.
Come.
Huh?
Kiss.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee. I'll get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve! I'll bear him no more sticks! But follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A most ridiculous monster to make wonder of a poor drunkard.
I prithee, Let me bring thee where crabs grow. And I, with my long nails, I'll dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scammels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now, lead the way without any more talking.
Oh, yeah.
Trinculo, the king, and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here! Huh? Bear my bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Fellow Trinculo will fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master! Farewell! Farewell!
A howling monster, a drunken monster.
No more damsel make for fish! No fetching, firing, at requiring. No stick gentry, no wash dish. Pan, Kali pan, has a new master, get a new man. Freedom. Heidi! Freedom! Freedom! Heidi! Heidi! Freedom!
Brave monster! Lead the way.
There be some sports are painful, and their labour delight in them sets off. Some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This, my mean task, would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and makes my labours pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a soaring junction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work and says such baseness had never like executor. Oh, I forget. But these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labours. I'm most busiest when I do it.
Alas now, pray you work not so hard. Oh, I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you are enjoined to pile. Pray, set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Pray, now rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray, give me that. I'll carry it to the
No,
pile.
precious creature, I'd rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonour undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease. For my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor worm. Thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No. Noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I have broke your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady have I eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongue hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, but never any with so full soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed and put it to the foil. But you, oh, you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face, remember, save from my glass mine own, nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad. I am skillless, but by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king, that I would not so. I would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. Now hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did my heart fly to your service. There resides to make me slave to it, and for your sake am I this patient log man.
Do you love me?
Oh. Heaven, oh earth, bear witness to this sound, and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true. If hollowly invert what best is boded me in mischief, I, beyond all limit of what else in the world, do love, prize, honour you.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heavens rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not to offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. Oh, God! Oh, this is trifling! And all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence bashful cunning. And prompt me, plain and holy innocence. I am your wife. If you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow, you may deny me, but I'll be your servant, whether you will or no.
My mistress dearest, and I thus, humble ever.
My husband, then.
I? With a heart as willing as bondage air of freedom, here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in it. And now, farewell. Till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they I cannot be, who are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet, ere supper time, must I perform much business appertaining.
Tell not me when the butt is out we will drink water, not a drop before. Therefore bear up and board down. Servant monster, drink to me.
Servant monster, the folly of this island. They say there are but 5 upon the isle. We are 3 of them. If the other 2 be brained like us, the state totters.
Drink, servant monster, when I bid thee. Thy eyes are almost set in thy head.
And where else would they be set? He'd be a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
My man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam, ere I could recover the shore, 35 leagues. Off and on. By this light thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard.
Thy lieutenant, if you list, he's no standard.
Will not run, monsieur monster.
No go neither, but you lie like dogs and say nothing neither.
Moon calf, meow. Speak once in thy life, if thou best a good moon calf.
How does thy honor? Let me lick your shoe. I'll not serve him. He is not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I am in case to jostle a constable. Huh? Thou debauched fish, thou? Wast ever a man a coward that has drunk as much sack as I today? Willst thou tell a monstrous lie, being but a half fish and a half, monster?
No! How he mocks me! Wilt thou let him? My lord!
My lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Hello, again! Bite him to death, I prithee.
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove a mutineer, the next tree, this poor monster's my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry, will I? Kneel. And repeat it. I will stand. And so shall Trinculo.
As I told...
Proceed.
as I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning has cheated me of the island.
Thou liest!
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Trinculo, if you trouble him any more in his tale, by this hand, I will supplant some of your teeth.
I said nothing.
Mum, then, and no more. Proceed.
I say by sorcery he got this isle. From me he got it. But if thy greatness will, revenge it on him. For I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Ah, well, thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Oh, yea, my lord, I'll yield thee him asleep, where thou mayst knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest, thou canst not!
What a pied ninny is this? Why, thou scurvy patch, I do beseech your greatness, give him blows, and take his bottle from him. No. No. When that is gone, he shall drink naught but brine. Because I'll not show him where the quick freshes are.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster. One word further, and by this hand, I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
Why, what did I? Did nothing. I will go farther off.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest!
Do I so? Take thou that!
Oh!
As thou likes this, give me the lie another time.
Ow!
Ow!
I did not give the lie. Out of the wits and hearing too. A pox in your bottle, this can suck and drink and do. A murrain on your monster and the devil take your fingers.
Ha ha ha.
Now, forward with your tale. Prithee, stand up, farther off.
I beat him enough. After a little while, I'll beat him too.
Stand up, farther. Come. Proceed.
As I told thee, it is a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or punch him with a stake, or cut his wizard with thy knife. Remember, first to possess his books, for without them he's but a sot, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. Oh, no, they all do hate him, as rootedly as I. Burn but his books, for he has brave utensils, for so he calls them, which when he has a house he'll deck with all. And that most deeply to consider is beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her non-pareil. So I never saw a woman. But only Sycorax, Madame, and she. But she... No, she has far surpassed Sycorax as greatest does least. Is it so brave, hélas?
My lord. She will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I will be king and queen. Save our graces, and Trinculo and thyself will be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent!
Give me thy hand. I am sorry I beat thee, but whilst that... I'm sorry I beat thee, but whilst thou livest, keep a good tongue in your head.
My lord!
What?
Oi!
Hey, shh.
Hey, shh, shh.
Within this half hour will he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honor.
This will I tell my master.
Thou makest me merry! I am full of pleasure!
Let us be jocund. Hey, will you troll me the catch you taught me while there?
At thy request, I will do reason, any reason. Come, Trinculo, let us sing. Flautum and scoutum and scoutum and flautum and thought is free.
Flautum and thought is free.
Well, that's not the tune.
Huh?
Yet, huh?
What?
What is this same?
This is the tune of our catch, played by a picture of nobody.
If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest the devil, take it as thou list.
Forgive me my sins.
He that dies pays all debts. I defy thee. Mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, not I.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that if I then had waked after long sleep will make me sleep again. And then in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me. That when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This should prove a brave kingdom for me where I can have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed!
That will be by and by. I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Let us follow it, and after do our work.
Lead, monster, will follow. Oh, I would I could see this taborer. He lays it on.
Will come. I'll follow Stefano.
By Lakin, I can go no further, sir. My old bones ache. Here's a maze trod indeed through forthright and meanders. By your patience I needs must rest me.
O Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest, even here. I will put off my hope and keep it no longer for my flatterer. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, let him go.
I am right glad that he's so out of hope. Do not for one repulse forgo the purpose that you resolve to effect.
The next advantage will we take through.
Let it be tonight, for now they are oppressed with travel. They will not nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
Tonight, I say no more.
But harmony is this, my good friend? Hark!
Marvellous sweet music.
Oh, give us kind keepers. Heavens, what were these?
A living dronery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns. That in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix throne, one phoenix at this hour reigning there.
I'll believe both. And what does else one credit? Come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true. Travellers ne'er did lie, though fools at home condemn them.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders, for certes these are people of the island who, though they are of monstrous shape, yet note their manners, a more gentle kind than of our human generation, you shall find. Many, nay, almost any.
Honest lord, thou hast said well, for some of you there present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse at such shape, such gestures, such sound, expressing, although they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse.
Praise in departing.
They vanished strangely.
No matter. Since they have left their viands behind, for we have stomachs, will please you taste of what is here.
But I!
Sir, you need not fear. When we were boys, who would believe that there were mountaineers dew-lapped like bulls, whose throats had hanging out of wallets of flesh, or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breasts, as now we find each putter out of 5 for 1 will bring us good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed. Although my last, no matter, since I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord the Duke, stand to and do as we.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world, and what is in it, the never surfeited sea, hath caused to belch up you, and on this island, where man doth not inhabit. You, mongst men, being most unfit to live, I have made you mad. Even with such like valor, men hang and drown their proper selves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements, of whom your swords are tempered, may as well wound the loud winds, or it be locked at stabs, till the still closing waters as diminish one dowel that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable if you could hurt. Your swords are now too massive for your strength, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you 3 from Milan did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea, which hath requited him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the powers delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and do pronounce by me lingering perdition, worse than any death can be at once, shall step my step attend you in your ways, whose wraths to guard you from, which here, in this most desolate isle, else falls upon your heads, is nothing but heart's sorrow and a clear life ensuing.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel. A grace it had devouring. Of my instructions hast thou nothing bated in what thou hadst to say. My high charms work, and these, mine enemies, are all knit up in their distractions. They now are in my power. And in these fits, I leave them, while I visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and my loved darling.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
Ah, it's monstrous! Monstrous, methought the billow spoke and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, pronounced the name of Prosper. They did base my trespass. And therefore my son in the ooze is bedded. And I'll seek him deeper than ever plummet sounded. And with him there lie muddy.
But one fiend at a time! I'll fight their legions all!
I'll be thy second!
All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to work a great time after now, begins to bite their spirits. I do beseech you that out of suppler joints, follow them swiftly and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
Follow, I pray you!
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends, for I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live. Who once again I tender to thy hand. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Here, afore heaven, I ratify this, my rich gift. Oh, Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast of her. For thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it, against an oracle.
Then, as my gift, and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremony made with full and holy rites be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow. But barren hate, sour-eyed disdain, and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly that you shall hate it both. Therefore, take heed, as Hymen's lamps shall light you.
As I hope, for quiet days, fair issue, and long life, with such love as 'tis now, the murkiest den, the most opportune place, the strongest suggestion our worser genius can, shall never melt mine honour into lust, to take away the edge of that day's celebration. When I shall think, or Phoebus' steeds are founded, or night kept chained below.
Fairly spoke. Sit then, and talk with her. She is thine own. What, Ariel? My industrious servant, Ariel!
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go, bid the rabble, or whom I give thee power, here to this place, incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it of me.
Presently.
Aye, with a twink.
Before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry so, each one tripping on his toe, will be here with mop and mow. Do you love me, master? No?
Dearly, my delicate Ariel, do not approach till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I conceive.
Look, thou be true. Do not give dalliance too much the rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire in the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
I warrant you, sir, the white cold virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardour of my liver.
Well. Now come, my Ariel, appear and pertly. No tongues, all eyes, be silent.
Thy rich lees of wheat, rye, barley, vetches, oats, and peas. Thy turfy mountains, where live nibbling sheep, and flat meads thatched with stover, them to keep. Thy banks with pionet and twilled brims, which spongy April at thy hest betrims, to make cold nymphs chaste crowns. And thy broom groves, whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves, being last lorn. Thy pole-clipped vineyard, and thy sea marge, sterile and rocky hard, where thou thyself dost err. The queen of the sky, whose watery arch and messenger am I, bids thee leave these, and with her sovereign grace, here on this grass plot, in this very place to come and sport. Her peacocks fly amain, approach, rich Ceres, her to entertain.
Messenger, that ne'er dost disobey the wife of Jupiter. Who, with thy saffron wings upon my flowers, diffusest honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres and my unshrubbed down. Rich scarf to my proud earth, why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short-grassed green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and some donation freely to estate on the blessed lovers.
Tell me, heavenly bow, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen, since they did plot the means that dusky Diz my daughter got, her and her blind boy's scandaled company I have forsworn.
Oh, of her society be not afraid. I met her deity, cutting the clouds towards Paphos, and her son, dove drawn with her. He thought they to have done some wanton charm upon this man and maid, whose vows are that
no bedright shall be paid till Hymen's torch be lighted.
But in vain, Mars' hot minion is returned again. Her waspish-headed son has broke his arrows, swears he will shoot no more but play with sparrows, and be a boy right
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes! I know her by her gait.
How does my bounteous sister? Go with me to bless these twain that they may prosperous be and honoured in their issue.
Honor, riches, marriage, blessing, long continuance and increasing. Early joys be still upon you. Judah sings her blessings on you. Earth's increase, poison plenty, bonds and goddess never empty. Vines with clustering bunches growing, clouds with goodly burden going. Spring comes to you at the farthest, in the very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you. Series blessing, so is on you.
This is a most majestic vision and harmonious charmingly. May I be bold to think these spirits?
Spirits which by mine art I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever. So rare a wondered father and a wise makes this place paradise.
Sweet, now silence. Juno and Ceres, whisper seriously. There's something else to do. Hush and be mute, or else our spell is marred.
You nymphs called naiads of the winding brooks, with your sedged crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels, and on this green land answer your summons. Juno does command. Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late.
conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come. Well done, avoid no more.
This is strange. Your father's in some passion that works him strongly.
Never till this day saw I him touched with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant, faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. My old brain is troubled, bear with my weakness. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish your peace.
Come with a thought, I thank thee. Ariel, come!
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, my commander. When I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee of it, but I feared lest I might anger thee.
Say again, where did thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir. They were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smote the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing of their feet, yet always bending towards their project. Then I beat my tabor, at which, like unbacked colts, they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses as they smelt music, so I charmed their ears, that calf-like they my lowing followed through toothed briars, sharp furzes, pricking gorse, and thorns, which entered their frail shins. At last I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins that the foul lake o'erstunk their feet.
This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible, retain thou still. The trumpery in my house, go, bring it hither, for stale to catch these thieves.
I go!
A devil, a born devil, on whose nurture can never stick, on whom my pains, humanely taken, all lost, quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring.
All right, baby, what are you doing here?
Pray you tread softly, that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We now are near his cell.
Monster, your fairy, which you say's a harmless fairy, had done little better than play the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell all horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you.
Thou wert but a lost monster.
Oh, good, my lord, give me thy favor still. Be patient, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore, speak softly, huh? All's hushed as midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our bottles to the pool!
There is not only disgrace and dishonour in that monster, but an infinite loss.
And that is more to me than my wetting, and this is your harmless fairy monster.
I will fetch off my bottle, though I be o'er ears for my labour.
Prithee, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? Huh? This is the mouth of the cell. No noise! Shh! And enter. Do that good mischief which may make this island thine own forever. And I, thy Caliban, for I, thy foot liquor.
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stefano! Oh, Pia! Oh, worthy Stefano! Look what a wardrobe here is for thee!
Let it alone, thou fool! It is but trash!
Oh, no, monster! We know what belongs to a frippery! Oh, King Stefano!
Put off that gown, Trinculo! By this hand, I'll have that gown.
Oh, thy grace shall have it!
Oh, no. Oh, the dropsy drowned this fool! What do you mean? To dote thus on such luggage? No, let it alone. Hey, no. Say, no, do the murder first. No, if he awake from toe to crown, he'll fill our skin with pinches. He'll make us strange stuff.
Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Line, is not this my jerkin? Now is the jerkin under the line. Now, jerkin, you're like to lose your hair and prove a bald jerkin.
Do we steal by line and level, and like your grace?
I thank thee for that jest. Ooh, here's a garment for thee. Wit shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Still, by line and level is an excellent pass of paint. There's another garment for thee.
Monster, come. Put some lime upon your fingers and away with the rest.
I will have none on't. We shall lose our time and all return to barnacles. Or to apes with foreheads villainous low.
Monster, late your fingers. Help to bear this away to where my hog's head of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Here, carry this.
Yeah, and this.
Aye, and this.
Hey, Mountain! Hey! Silver, there it goes, Silver! Fury! Tyrant, there! Ha! Go! Charge my goblins that they grind their joints with dry convulsions, shorten up their sinews with aged cramps, more pitch-spotted make them than Pan or Catalante! On they roar! Let them be hunted soundly! At this hour lies at my mercy all mine enemies. Now does my project gather to a head. My charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so. When first I raised the tempest, say my spirit, how fares the king and's followers?
Confined together in the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them, all prisoners, sir, in the lime grove which weather fens your cell. They cannot budge till your release. The king, his brother, and yours abide all three, distracted, and the remainder mourning over them. brimful of sorrow and dismay, but chiefly him that you termed, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalo. His tears ran down his beard like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly works, and that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
And mine shall. Hast thou, which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their affliction, and shall not myself, one of their kind that relish all as sharply passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? Though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason, 'gainst my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They, being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Hills, brooks, standing lakes, and groves. And ye that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune and do fly him when he comes back. You demi-puppets that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the ewe not bites, and you whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew. By whose aid, weak masters though ye be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong-based promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Graves, at my command, have waked their sleepers, oped, and led them forth by my so potent art. Yet, this rough magic I here abjure. And when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses, that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. A solemn air, and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy, cure thy brains. now useless, boiled within thy skulls. There stand, for you are spell-stopped. Holy Gonzalo, honourable man, mine eyes, even sociable to the show of thine, fall fellowly drops. The charm dissolves apace, and as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness, so their rising senses begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clearer reason. O good Gonzalo, my true preserver, and a loyal sir to him thou followest, I will pay thy graces home both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act. Thou'rt pinched for it now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood. You, brother mine, that entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, and with Sebastian, whose inward pinch is therefore most strong, would here have killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell, and the approaching tide will shortly fill the reasonable shore that now lies foul and muddy. Not one of them that yet looks on me, or would know me. Ariel, I will discase me, and myself present as I was sometime Milan. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip's bell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On a bat's back I do fly. After summer merrily, merrily, merrily shall I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough.
Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have freedom. So. To the king's ship, invisible as thou art, there shalt thou find the mariners asleep under the hatches. The master and the boatswain being awake, enforce them to this place. And presently, I prithee,
I drink the air before me and return our air your pulse twice beat.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabit here. Some heavenly powers guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. For more assurance that a living prince does now speak to thee, I embrace thy body. And to thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
Whether thou beest he or no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me, as late I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood. And since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends, with which with which I fear a madness held me. For this must crave, and if this be at all, a most strange story. Thy dukedom. I resign, and do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle that will not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all. But you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I here could pluck his highness frown upon you and justify you traitors. At this time, I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in him.
No. For you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth, I do forgive thy rankest fault. All of them. And require my dukedom of thee, which I know perforce thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation. How thou hast met us here, whom 3 hours since were racked upon this shore, where I have lost how sharp the point of this remembrance is. My dear son Ferdinand.
I am woe for it, sir.
Irreparable is the loss, and Patience says it is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help, of whose soft grace for the like loss I have her sovereign aid, and rest myself content.
You the like loss?
As great to me as late, and supportable to make the dear loss, have I means much weaker than you may call to comfort you, for I have lost my daughter.
A daughter? Oh, heavens that they were living, both in Naples, the king and queen there. And that they were, I wish myself were muddied in that oozy bed where my son lies. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest, I perceive these lords at this encounter do so much admire that they devour their reason and scarce think their eyes do offices of truth. Their words are natural breath, but howsoe'er you have been jostled from your senses, know for certain that I am Prospero, and that very duke that was thrust forth of Milan, who most strangely upon this shore, where you were racked, was landed to be the lord on't. No more yet of that, but 'tis a chronicle of day by day, not a relation for a breakfast, nor yet befitting this first meeting. Welcome, sir. This cell's my court. Here have I few attendants, and subjects none abroad. Pray you, look in my dukedom, since you have given me again. I will requite you with as good a thing, at least bring forth a wonder to content ye, as much as me, my dukedom.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dearest love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play.
If this prove a vision of the island, one dear son shall I twice lips.
A most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
All the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise and say how thou camest here.
Oh, wonder! How many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is! Oh, brave new world that has such people in it!
'Tis new to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Your eldest acquaintance cannot be 3 hours. Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by immortal providence, she's mine. I chose her when I couldn't ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I have heard renown but never saw before, of whom I have received a second life, and second father this lady makes him to me.
I am hers, but oh, how oddly will it sound that I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrance with a heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept, or should have spoke ere this. Look down, ye gods, and on this couple drop a blessed crown, for it is you that have chalked forth the way which brought us hither.
I say amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan, that his issue should produce kings of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond the common joy, and set it down with gold on lasting pillars in one voyage. Did Claribel a husband find at Tunis, and Ferdinand her brother found a wife when he himself was lost? Prospero his dukedom in a poor isle, and all of us, ourselves, when no man was his own.
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow still embrace his heart that does not wish you joy.
Be it so, amen. Oh, look, sir, here is more of us. I prophesied if a gallows were on land, this fellow should not drown. Now blasphemy that swearest grace overboard, not an oath on shore. Hast thou no mouth by land? What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave out split, is tight and bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went.
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange. To strangers, say, how came you hither?
If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I'd strive to tell you. We were dead of sleep, and how, we know not, all clapped under hatches, where, but even now with strange and several noises of roaring, shrieking, howling, jingling chains, and more diversity of sounds, all horrible. We were awaked, straightway at liberty, where we in all her trim freshly beheld our royal good and gallant ship, our master capering to eye her. On a trice, so please you, even in a dream, were we divided from them and were brought moping hither. Whilst well done.
Bravely, my diligence, thou shalt be free.
This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod, and there is in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with beating on the strangeness of this business. At picked leisure, which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve you, which to you shall seem probable, of every these happened accidents. Till when? Be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Come hither, spirit. Set Caliban and his companions free. Untie the spell. How fares, my gracious sir? There are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not.
Let everyone shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself, for all is but fortune. Coraggio, bully monster, coraggio.
If these be true spies which I wear in my head, here is a goodly sight.
Oh, Septimus! These be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is. I'm afraid he will chastise me.
What things are these, my Lord Antonio? Will money buy them?
Very like. One of them is a plain fish. No doubt marketable.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords, then say if they be true. This misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so strong that could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, and deal in her command without her power. These 3 have robbed me, and this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, has plotted with them to take my life. 2 of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is not this Stefano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now. Where had he wine?
Trinculo is reeling right. And where should they find this ground liquor that hath gilded him? How camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last. I fear that I will never out of my bones.
Why, how now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I'm not Stefano, but a cramp.
You'd be king of the Isles, sirrah.
I should have been a sore one then.
This is as strange a thing as e'er I looked on.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions. As you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will. And I shall be wise hereafter and seek for grace. I would have thrice double as was I to take this drunkard for a god and worship this dull fool.
Go to.
Huh?
Away.
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you may take your rest for this one night. Which part of it I'll waste with such discourse as I doubt not shall make it go quick away, the story of my life and the particular accidents gone by since I came to this isle. Then in the morn I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptials of these our dear beloved solemnized, and thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sails so expeditious as shall catch your royal fleet far off. My aerial chick, that is thy charge. Then to the elements be free. And fare thou well. Please you, draw near. Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true, I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got and pardoned the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell, but release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of thine my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now, I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free.